Yo guys, Jens here, and we have PvP changes. I see it here. I know already some of them because of my group on Facebook. When I woke up, my phone was going crazy. But before I see them, all of them, what do we want? We want a Holy Paladin nerf. We want Fire Mage nerf, Windwalker, Warrior, and a hybrid of healing nerf, right? We don't want Resto Shamans and this priest not to heal. We want them to actually heal, and um, and we want a Mistweaver buff, but a buff that doesn't make them overpowered like in BFA Season 3, right? So, um, or begin of Season 4. So let's see, guys. Let's see what Blizzard did. Okay, first, Ring of Frost will now always shows its cast location visual effect. This was a bug where, especially from Invis, if you started to cast a Ring of Frost, it was invisible, so it was impossible to to know where it would land, and it would be pretty annoying. That's a fix. This is PV, 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 um, PV. Okay, player versus player, fixed an issue. Nazarite, okay, this is on the battleground. Don't care. Unholy buffs, I guess. Necrotic Strike now absorbs up to 6%. It was 4%. I think they nerfed it by 2%, so this is removing the nerf to Necrotic Strike. Virulent Plague and Virulent Eruption are no longer reduced by 10%. This is a good buff, I guess. Unholy will do is already doing the top damage, but I think the problem with DKs and DHs, for example, it's not that they are weak in terms of damage. DH actually has more damage than an Affliction Warlock. They do 2.5, 2.6k DPS single target, while you as a Warlock do 3.3 or 3k DPS in two targets. So they actually almost double your damage. Um, in terms of DH, Decades also has a lot of damage. Their problem is warriors being way too strong and just being able to train you and just completely annihilate you. Let's see if there's a warrior nerf as well. Hunter MM, careful aim now deals 35% bonus damage. It was 20%, so this means they buffed aim shot um, through careful aim. Okay. I think MM Hunter buff it's not really justified until they nerf the Feign Death Legendary. I think it needs to be hand in hand. I think their problem is Holy Paladins at the moment, but maybe this is a good buff. I don't know. All I know is that as Affliction, I get completely destroyed by jungle. Um, so let's hope for some Affli buffs in terms of survivability. But okay, MM got buffed, I guess. BM, oh my god, BCR rat effectiveness is no longer reduced by 20% when engaged. I don't get why they are buffing BM. I don't think BM should be a spec in PvP. You don't really do anything. Your pets do everything for you. And to be honest, we might see some Beast Cliff now because unless Enhancement Shell and Healing is being nerfed, BM does a lot of damage, guys. It actually does a lot of damage. But okay, I guess it's above to an underperforming spec. Mage. Dampen Magic reduces magical damage over time effects by 10%, was 20. This is a great change. I think the Hunter talent should also, the Dragon Scale armor should also be nerfed. I don't know why they are nerfing the Mage one and they are not nerfing the Hunter one. which does exactly the same. But this is an amazing change because we try on wards. It was pretty much impossible to kill any mages awfully. So this is a really good change. Frost Glacial Spike talent is no longer reduced by 20% when engaged in combat with enemy players. This is a good buff, I guess. And Ray of Frost, the same thing but by 15%. Okay, this is also a good change. I don't think it's enough for Frost to be better than Fire still, because the problem is Frost Mage overall damage in arena. It comes from Ice Lance and Frostbolt, and if you don't buff those spells, these buffs really don't want to do anything. You kick Glacial or Ray of Frost instantly, so the problem is the sustained damage and not really the burst. And their sustained damage is completely garbage. But I guess this is better than anything. Nothing, I guess. Fire. Let's see. Pyrokinesis reduces combustion cooldown by 3 seconds. Was 5. Just remove this talent. At this point, I don't think there should be any talent that reduces the cooldown of your offensive cooldowns. You can make them desync with defensives by making cooldowns inferior in PvP, but I think when you have talents that just reduce the cooldown of your strongest ability, um, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. You can't even track it. It's impossible to track it. You need to kinda like do a math. So before this nerf, if the mage had 40 seconds on his combust, he probably had combust already up. If he's casting fireballs for after combust, some mages even start casting fireball when they have combust up, but they don't really have fire blast damage or meteor, just to reset the combust even faster. That's really the degenerate gameplay, but I will take this. It's a pretty huge nerf. Mistweaver, Chrysalis. Oh my god, no, please don't. Reduces life cocoon cooldown by 40 seconds. It was 25 seconds. Oh my god. Here we go again to here we go again to Mistweaver meta. This one I'm scared. I wasn't scared of Resto Druid meta, but if Mistweavers get too strong, it's just the same as a Holy Paladin, but instead of pressing spacebar, they are just 100 miles away, fucking channeling the same shit for 30 minutes. But okay, they reduced the cooldown on Life Cocoon. I guess they need it. I wanted a true output buff. Another buff, mana regen increased by 20%. I faced a Mistweaver yesterday in twos. I think it was Hydra. But I faced a Mistweaver yesterday in twos, and sometimes I feel like everything counters Affley, but I was playing Affley Resto Druid against Mistweaver Frost DK, and the fact that they can dispel shit without getting UA silence because of the orbs, right? It makes them so overpowered that I'm really scared that they're actually meta again. But yeah, I guess these are good changes. So they won't really go home as fast, and yeah, and they have Life Cocoon pretty much up all the time, kind of. Okay. This was a nerf. The first one was a nerf that they introduced in BFA, I think season 4. But okay. Paladin, holy. Damage transferred through Ultimate Sacrifice is no longer affected by Blessing of Sacrifice rank 2 upgrade. Okay. It's a nerf, but the Ultimate Sacrifice ain't the problem. The problem is all their synergies. Let's see the second one. Mana regen is decreased by 30% when engaged in PvP combat with enemy players. I don't know. We need to test this. I will test this Wednesday and tell you guys how it went. But I don't know. I think the problem is the true output in conjunction with the mana. Obviously, I don't know why they nerfed the ultimate sacrifice. I don't mind them pretty much stopping someone HP and taking a lot of damage. What I do mind though is them being able to do that in conjunction with mana efficiency and in conjunction with being able to top everyone. I think Shadow Resistance Aura should have taken a hit here as well. And we see no nerfs to warriors, we see no nerfs to windwalkers, and we see no buffs to affliction. Like these are good changes. I think the fire mage holy paladin meta will still be king with a windwalker or with a warrior. I think they will be more susceptible against comps that go into dampening because the holy paladin still gets will get faster. But we need more. We need more. I want more. We need way more. Um, I don't think they are enough to completely change the meta, but I think you will see other comps. I think with the Mistweaver, you will see, for example, Turbo with the Mistweaver being extremely good, or Red Warrior being extremely good, because all of the sudden you buff their cocoon, you buff their mana regen, and you have a red healing, and the warrior being so tanky. I think you will see some of that, but overall they are good changes. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let's hope we see more um, next week, I guess, because this ain't enough. Holy Paladins will still dominate with these changes. They just won't dominate as much. So instead of having games into 50-60% dampening, you might have games into half, like 30% dampening. And like I need to check the mana change. If this makes them against, for example, Affliction Warlock comps or even Shadowplay comps, um, this might be a huge nerf or a huge buff to Half-Flame. But at the same time, you have MM being buffed by 15% and careful aim talent. But yeah, guys, that's it. We have some changes. Let's see if these are enough to nerf these holy paladins and fire mages. Pyrokinesis is actually a big deal. Even though it's only 2 seconds, it's actually a big deal. Um, because they can't go as much, and with the holy paladin having less mana, it means that they can't really tank the enemy melee and just be completely fine. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Let's hope these are enough to actually make the game kind of fun. See ya. Peace.